This screencast is designed to help you with the data cleaning quiz. So over here, let's pretend these are surveys that you've completed, and you'll probably have hard copies. I'm just denoting the answer in red, and I have fewer questions than you will as well, but this is just an example. So let's say these are my completed surveys, and here is an SPSS file. I've started just doing a couple things. You have two tabs here. In the variable view tab, you write the name of the variable here, and there's other information we'll need to write over here, but the data view tab has the numbers that you want to enter in. So let's finish. I would enter in my next variable here. So I've typed in sex, my first variable here. That's my variable name. Second variable measures age, so I typed in age. Third one, let's call it major. Fourth variable measures siblings. Abbreviate, call it SIBS. Fifth, we'll call it GPA. Again, doesn't matter what you call the variable as long as it makes sense to you. 6, we'll just say income. Okay. Here are my variables. You default the decimals, it gives you 2. I've already corrected those 2, so I'll just, doesn't matter if you do this or not, but I'll just put everything down to, although I think for GPA I need 1 decimal. Nope, I don't need any. Okay, so here we go. I have, let's say this is my first questionnaire that I have. I want to enter data. Again, you're taking data from your questionnaires, putting it in an SPSS file. So if we go in the data view tab now, so each row is a person. So here is one person filling out my survey. So I'm going to fill in across. You have to make sure that the variables you have up here are the same order as on your surveys, your questionnaires: sex, age, major, siblings, GPA, income. Make sure you have things correctly. So see, how do you want to code things? Now, your sex variable has to be dichotomous, has to be coded 0 and 1. So if you want to have a third category, you can, an other or intersex, whatever you think is appropriate. But it has to be coded 0 and 1. One group has to be coded 0, one has to be coded 1. So it could be males and other, or females and other. I'm just doing male and female in this case. Male, I'll code as 0, and female as 1. So here, if I have a male, I put a 0. Now let me go over here for a sec. What you're going to want to also do in the values over here is put information down about the coding, and I'll show you that when I pull up another file in just a sec. So male 0, age 23, major 1. I'll just start with the dichotomous variable. Your codings are 0 and 1. With categorical variables or other variables, just start with a 1. So here's option 1. That's option, I'll call it option 2 because that's the second one listed, so I'll put a 2 there. Next one, siblings. Number 0 siblings. GPA 1, 2. That's the second one listed there. For my interval scalar semantic differential, I'll just put down what they circled, a 6. So there's person 1. Again, you would have more. You have at least 9 questions on your surveys. There's survey number 1. So I go to survey number 2. So a female gets coded as a 1. Age, they didn't answer, so just skip it, leave it blank. You'll see a little dot there. That means that the person didn't answer. Chemistry, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 5th option. I'll put a 5 down there. Siblings 3. GPA 1, 2, 3. That's a 4. And then they circle the 9. For the next person here, a female, a 1. Age 43. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, it can't be a 5 again because look, last time 5 was chemistry. So what you do is I make that a 6. So these are always going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And every single unique other gets its own number. So we do a 6 there. Siblings 13. If something seems odd, you want to go back and check the, if I'm looking at my data here and really 13 siblings, go back and check the original survey. And if they put 13 down, then you know you entered the data correctly. For GPA here, I have 3. Income is 3. So I would keep doing that for all of my questionnaires. And here's what it could look like when you're done. You'll have 30 rows, one for each person. And again, if you look here in my variable view tab, what you do for any variable that is not ratio, so all your nominals, all your ordinals, all your intervals, you have to right here in the values tab put in information. So let me show you, let me go back to my other one here and show you how I do that, because what I want to see is your coding. So for sex, I go in the values, click right over here on the right. Now for me, zeros were male, ones were female. All I do. Click add, there you go. So what it ends up looking like is like this, because this is part of your quiz score. I want to see all of these what are called value labels. So males, so every time I see a 0, so if I look here in the data, I can tell it's a male, female, female, male, female. Let's see, let's go look at other ones. For age, I have nothing down. Why? Because that's a ratio variable. The age here, I know that this means their age. For major, I listed the first 4 as you saw and all the others. So let's say I only had 2 others. So I have 6 options here. And so on. Siblings, that was a ratio variable. Don't need anything there because the number is self-explanatory. For GPA, the coding, a 1 was this, 2 was that, and so on. And then for my interval variable, all you want to do here for your intervals are label your extremes. You don't need to label the 2 through 9, presuming your scale is 1 through 10. Just label your extremes. Very unhappy, very happy. So once you have all your data entered in here and all of your value labels here, then you want to do a frequencies. So the data cleaning quiz is to make sure that your data are clean, appropriate, properly entered. At least 30 cases, I'll be checking for that. And so you go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, Frequencies. The screen will come up. Now hold on, I've already done this once, so let me up again. I've already done this once, so that's why you're seeing. Let's just put everything, highlight it here. Boom. Okay, here's what you'll see. When you pull this screen up, you'll see it like this. This will be highlighted. That's what you'll see. Okay. So if you just do Control A, highlights everything, bring them over. Bring everything over and click. This will automatically be checked, which is what you want. You want that checked. Click OK. And you'll see things, and so you want to make sure you see that no problems. For example, in mine I just have males and females. There's a 2, so I did some kind of coding that was wrong there. So let's go back and look at my data. So if I look at sex, and I'd see, okay, there's a 2 right there. What was that? Remember, you have to have any nominal variable dichotomously coded 0 and 1. So I go back and look at my 13th survey, and I'd see what number 2 was. Oh, let's say I made a mistake and it was a female, so I'd correct that. Let's go back and look at the output here. Scroll down, age, youngest should be 18. Make sure all the ages look fine. Major, everything is labeled there, that's proper. Because if I just had a number, I need to correct that. Siblings, the numbers there are proper. GPA, wait, there's a 5 there, and I only had 4 options, so let's go back and look at my GPA. GPA 5, you'll see it right there. Let's go back and look at your 7th survey, and let's say, oh, it was the highest grade. I just put a 5 down instead, so I'll correct that. So make sure you go back and look at the original survey to make corrections. Let's go back here for the output. Income. Notice there's no unhappy, because no one circled a 1. If no one circled a 10, you wouldn't see this either. Sometimes you may just see numbers. So you go through and check and see, I've made my corrections in my data file. And so let's run the analysis again. You could run it from, this is your output screen. You can run the commands from the output screen or the data screen. This is your data screen. That's your output screen. So analyze, descriptive frequencies. Let's get rid of that. Run them again, and you would check and see everything fine here. So that's how you run the runs for the quiz on data cleaning. So let me know if you have any questions.